What's
Hello.
up, Brandon?
Hey.
So,
Well, lots been going on. Lots been going on. We had an airplane freak out recently.
right, we did have an airplane freak out recently, but your ticker says should Canada help fund the border.
Oh,
But it's fine.
jeez. Oh,
We
jeez. I'm
we can leave it
embarrassed.
there. It's fine. It doesn't matter because, when this gets all set up, you're gonna get it fixed.
Well,
So listen, the lady went crazy. Um, I don't know. Are you on? I'm kind of on her team. Are you on her team? Or, we got a couple videos.
um,
We got a couple
I,
videos we're going to talk about because I see shapeshifter reptilian that popped up. That's great. Yeah, I do believe we actually have the guy that she was speaking of. We have that video today, and we're gonna have a video of Mama Tot's opinion also, because I value her opinion. She's a very feeling woman,
mm-hmm. Yeah, she's very
heartfelt,
passionate about what she believes is right or wrong, and she definitely had a
absolutely.
lot to say.
So, before we start, before we get this video up, I'm kind of on the lady's side right now. So until I see both videos. So let's go ahead and show the first video and discuss that, and then
All
we'll go
right,
to the
let's
second
like
one.
let's go ahead. We'll show Mama Tot. Mama Tot has a similar, view as you're saying, Reagan. That this we need to give this
I don't need you to tell me how
our
terrible I look. I've been traveling, it feels like a month, but I had to talk about this, okay? Because the whole way home in the truck, my phone was like this because I'm just so invested in this. This lady on the airplane, let's talk about it. I don't give a damn what y'all say, okay? I don't think for a second that lady was drunk. I don't care if she had 2 drinks at the airport. She ain't gonna be drunk off that. Let me tell you why I don't think she was drunk, and instead I believe she to be terrified. When she's standing at the beginning of the plane, I'm guessing getting ready to depart off of the plane, and she holds her 2 fingers on both hands and she says, "You can believe me or not, I don't care, but that MFer," and when she went to say isn't real, she had to catch her breath. All right, that comes from anxiety right there. She had to catch her breath to get the rest of what she was trying to say out of her mouth with tears coming down her face. That was terror.
She was distraught.
And if you deal with that type of anxiety like I do, when you are afraid, you know exactly what she was doing in that moment. So I don't care what y'all say, okay? I'm going to be on this lady's side until somebody proves me otherwise. And there has been nobody, especially on this app, to prove it otherwise. Everybody wants to hear from the woman, and so do I when she's ready, of course. But where's the man at? Where's he at? Can we get him on here and just even give us something like, I don't know what happened. I took my jacket off and tried to put my seatbelt on. All I know is she didn't think I was there. Tell us that. We ain't even got a video of the man. There's been like 10 videos I've seen of like 7 different men. We can't go off of that because we weren't on the plane. Nobody is confirming that they're the man. We cannot believe that. We cannot believe everything we see on the internet. But I am believing that this woman was terrified. Call me crazy if you want. I don't give a damn. I have seen something crazier in my life. It's been like 20 years ago, but y'all wouldn't believe me neither, and y'all would probably call me crazy. Okay? Let's just have an open discussion about this. What have you seen in your life? Okay? Are you too afraid to talk about because somebody's going to call you crazy? Probably I ain't. Anyway, where is all the TikTok like units at where they can just like find anybody? Okay? Ain't nobody found her yet. I'm even afraid to at this point. Last but not least, like I said, I'm going to be on her side because all we have in this moment is just her on that camera, okay? We have not heard details. We have not heard anything other than some other passenger claiming the lady was drunk. She's seen her at the airport bar or something. I can't go off of
And
that,
she
man.
may
I
have been.
can't go off of that. I got to hear from her or from the man or the not man. I don't know, okay? Either way, she sounded terrified, and I'm going off that anxiety feeling that I recognize it instantly. I'm on her side until further. I need proof.
All right.
Wow, there
So
we
first
have
thing
it.
I
The
want to
voice of
say
reason. The voice of reason.
is from the legend, the most amazing woman on social media, Mama Tot. If you don't follow her, go follow her. She's got a lot of good energy. We love her.
Oh yeah.
But we wanted to give her what she asked for. So we do have the video of the male that they were speaking of. And do you want to just go ahead and put that video up and then we'll just talk about all of it?
Sure, yeah. So the supposed reptilian, he has actually come out for his interview or whatever. Like Mama Todd said, I'm not going to believe it until I hear from the reptilian himself that he was there. So let's go ahead. We're gonna play the reptilian. I'm telling you, I'm getting the off, and there's a reason why I'm getting the off, and everyone can either believe it or they cannot believe it. I don't give two but I am telling you right now, that back there is not real.
Alright, so the internet has heard the story of the woman on the plane with the reptilians. But thanks to her delaying the flight, I just got home, so now it's my opportunity to tell my side of the story as the guy in the hoodie. So we're attempting to fly out of Dallas, Fort Worth, and then basically this woman, she sits next to me and she's clearly been drinking. I'm minding my own business, and sure enough, she sees my hoodie that has this Freemason logo on it. And on top of that, she noticed my ring, so she started to ask questions. Nothing dramatic, just asked me, do I know what these symbols mean? Why am I wearing it? What's the purpose? Yada yada yada. And long story short, I basically just say, hey, I'm a Freemason. I even briefly explained how I educate about Freemasonry here on TikTok. Next thing I know, she basically starts to grill me about low-level Freemason and that it's all Satanism and that it's ruled by reptilians and blah blah blah. So I simply put my hood up and I started to ignore her and basically just mind my own business. She starts getting louder and louder, and then basically she's like, you know that they worship Lucifer at the top, right? So I looked at her dead in her eyes and I said, I am Lucifer. I heard one individual laugh behind me, so I figured somebody got a kick out of it at least. She starts running up and down the aisles, freaking out, saying I'm a reptilian, and then all this other stuff, she's gonna get off the plane, yada yada yada. It doesn't show all the footage, it just says that she's trying to get off the plane because of, I'm not gonna say it here on TikTok, I don't wanna get banned, but then also talking about how, I'm secretly also trying to take over the world. So I looked back at the guy that was basically chuckling before, and I winked at him. So I basically whispered something under my breath saying that, Freemasons don't care to rule the world, we rule the universe. And I looked back at the guy that was laughing before and just kind of winked at him because he started laughing again. Well, I didn't think that she could hear me, but evidently she did, and it actually escalated it even further, and then they delayed the flight, and so on and so forth. So moral of the story, don't believe everything you hear on the internet. And Freemasons don't care to rule the world when we rule the universe.
Wow, there we have it. Good old common sense.
Okay, there we go. So what are your thoughts?
Well, it seemed like to me that was kind of the most common scenario in my mind from the jump was we had someone who was agitated and someone responded to the agitation with nothing, which made it worse for the person. And
So hold on. Let's stop there. So you don't think that he was fucking with her or anything?
no, I think she was demanding, she didn't like the Freemasons. She didn't like the Freemasons. And
Well, I have like no opinion of them at all. I know
right.
some, but there is a lot of lore to them, the power that they have, things that they're involved in, that a lot of people believe. A lot of conspiracy people believe a lot of things about them. So
Right. And I just, from what I've seen of spiritual type people, they're usually on the more quiet side.
excuse me. Hello. Oh, I'm sorry. Did we lose her? Them.
I'm back. Yeah, I was saying, even if this person was a spiritual or something, right?
Hmm.
It sounded more like she had some conspiracy issues herself about them that she projected. He answered by, kind of not paying her any mind, being a smartass, and then
Right.
she announced to everyone that he is a reptile.
Or so you're saying it's no fault of his because you're saying it's no fault of his because he was an asshole to her. I mean, he didn't have to respond that way. I mean, clearly, I mean, he says clearly she was drinking. Well, why would you antagonize somebody who you feel is inebriated? That's kind of an asshole thing to do, especially someone you don't know. You don't know how they're going to react to it. So why would you do that? Hello? Well, I don't know what's going on, everybody. So we may need to end it at this.
Yeah, sorry guys, I had some technical difficulties, but yeah, I just feel like it was an overreaction, and spiritual. I believe spiritual people with gifts to see things exist. That's for certain, but I don't know if the way she went about it would be the same way a person with those gifts would do. And that's all Brandon has to say.
Well,
So
I still think that he was an asshole. And I mean, maybe she was going through something. I don't know. Maybe she has gifts. Maybe she is spiritual. But there's no reason why he needed to be an asshole to her. Clearly, he triggered her. Clearly, he triggered some sort of
Karen within her.
negativity.
Mm-hmm.
Negativity. He 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 did something that triggered
But I mean, all he was doing was sitting in the
spiritual negative
seat.
energy. But the whole other thing is, so we haven't heard her side of the story yet. Okay. Um, and we heard his, but there's always three sides: his, hers, and the truth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe we need a flight attendant account, I mean, they're usually kind of bipartisan. But I mean, it just sounded like it was a little bit of a freak out, that got a lot of airtime. And she's probably going to lay low for some time. I mean, I imagine if I was in her position, I wouldn't be, out and about quite yet. But hopefully in time, forgives everyone, including herself,
Well,
for
maybe she was on vacation and she was going on vacation. She's enjoying herself.
That could be. And hopefully after this, she remembers like how she reacts to certain stimulants and situations.
I mean, maybe he should be take account of how he treats people, and maybe he shouldn't tell people he is Lucifer. Otis, I'm so sorry. Please don't make me throw something. Oh,
I feel for him because he was just being himself. He was just there ready to leave, and he's wearing the wrong shirt that day. And I don't think she liked the tattoos on his face. I think she profiled him. She didn't like that he was on the plane because he looked like a little rough, right? And I think she projected a lot of her own fears and things onto this guy. She has a problem with Freemasons.
well, I think that he triggered her, and that he could have handled everything a totally different way. And especially with everything being as woke and as it is right now, and especially with everything that people go through flying, especially after 9/11. So, you know what? If you're going to be an asshole to someone, do it somewhere else. Don't do it on a plane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
There's a
well,
lot of places that you can go ahead and do whatever you want to do, but honestly, like when you're in the fuselage of a plane and you have all those people in that small confined area, why would you want to bother anybody? Why would you want anybody to get upset? You just want to have a nice, easy flight anyway. So maybe he is like the devil incarnate. I mean, he clearly isn't a nice person.
well, if we were going to judge people on their tattoos and stuff, I mean, that would be a damn shame. That'd be a damn shame. And she asked him, you know, she's the one who started the devil accusations. It sounded like at first he was willing to talk amicably with her. And
She did not. No, she didn't. She didn't say that he worshiped the devil. She asked if he knew like what they were and that they worship Satan on the right. Blah 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 and all this, or on the left. I don't know. And it may be in the center or on the corner, but they worship Satan. I think she said on the right hand or something. I don't know. Anyway, and he said, "I am Lucifer." I mean, dude, she's drunk. Why? I wouldn't fuck with a drunk person, really. Like, I mean, especially on a plane. I'm talking on a plane. I probably would if I was like out somewhere. I mean, I have before. I told this guy in a bar one time. He was so hammered and he was sloppy. I was like, "You need to stop drinking, don't you? Aren't you driving home?" And he was like, "No, I'm walking across the ocean highway to go back to my hotel." I said, "Well, you still better be careful because you might get a WWI." He was like, "What's that?" I said, "It's walking while intoxicated and they're going to lock you up and take all your shoes from you so you can't walk anywhere anymore." He was so drunk. He was like, "Get the fuck out of here, dude." Anyway, so you can mess with them, but I'm just saying, like, on a plane, come on, get real. Don't, like, that's totally ridiculous.
he is a young man. He might not have had the skills of knowing how to even like, you know, what to say to someone after a certain point when she was on
Okay,
that.
I don't get that vibe. I don't get that vibe from him at all. At all. I totally do not get that vibe from him. You know what? You know the vibe I get from him? Here. I would go out on a limb and I would say there's a good possibility that there's, I'd say 50-50, he's not a Freemason. He just has the shit and he's like knows people or whatever, 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 right?
Right.
Um, and then I think I mean, my vibe, that he doesn't give off like really like genuine positive energy in that video.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really don't see like good energy from him. I mean, do you feel good energy? Like genuine, like
I'll have to watch it again. I mean, I'm sure after everything that's happened over the past week, he's probably like not in a frame of mind where he can give a really like PR friendly, like, "Hey guys, that's me. I mean, it's a weird story to begin with. And now you're on, you know, you're in front of cameras telling, you know, you want to
you're not in front of cameras. It was a TikTok. Like, seriously. It was a
All right, how
TikTok.
would you feel? How would you feel if what if it was a man that was wearing a cross and Jesus stuff, and you had someone come on there that is an atheist, and hey buddy, you know what that means, right? You know how many perverts are in Christianity, right? It's kind of like that. At some point, how much patience are you going to have with the person that's attacking your own beliefs?
She didn't call him a pervert.
No, but I'm
A
saying
pervert. No,
she
like a
said that
pervert.
there's a
That's, hold on. But you can't compare a pervert to somebody, to a religion that, so I mean, like, I mean, if they do, so if they do truly, or if they truly are involved with Lucifer, which there's lots of stories out there, there's lots of stuff about that. So if they truly are, she was speaking of his religious and spiritual beliefs, not his no, let's find a different
Well, I mean,
analogy for
she's
that.
saying like that, that there's straight up evil, which a pervert would fall under evil. Like, it's not the exact same thing, but she's kind of attacking his belief, and I think he was patient for a bit, and then it acted like a jerk. I think that's how I would sum it up. They were both acting out of pocket, if you want to. She was pushing it.
Okay. I'm still gonna have to disagree on this. I mean, I understand both of our positions, but
Mm-hmm.
and but I still have to say, like, as someone who has had to deal with inebriated people, like, why would you push buttons that don't need to be pushed?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
I promise you, he's probably a button pusher in life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, I could see that being the case. He'd be like a habitual line stepper kind of guy.
Yeah, I mean, you want to throw his video back up again. Let's watch it one more time.
Okay. Okie dokie.
This is for anybody who's just picking up about what video we're talking about. We're talking about the people on the airplane, the shapeshifter guy. He finally is speaking out. So we're going to go ahead and pop that video up.
I'm telling you, I'm getting the off, and there's a reason why I'm getting the off, and everyone can either believe it or they cannot believe it. I don't give two but I am telling you right now, that back there is not real.
Alright, so the internet has heard the story of the woman on the plane with the reptilians. But thanks to her delaying the flight, I just got home, so now it's my opportunity to tell my side of the story as the guy in the hoodie. So we're attempting to fly out of Dallas, Fort Worth, and then basically this woman, she sits next to me and she's clearly been drinking. I'm minding my own business, and sure enough, she sees my hoodie that has this Freemason logo on it. And on top of that, she noticed my ring, so she started to ask questions. Nothing dramatic, just asked me, do I know what these symbols mean? Why am I wearing it? What's the purpose? Yada yada yada. And long story short, I basically just say, hey, I'm a Freemason. I even briefly explained how I educate about Freemasonry here on TikTok. Next thing I know, she basically starts to grill me about low-level Freemason and that it's all Satanism and that it's ruled by reptilians and blah blah blah. So I simply put my hood up and I started to ignore her and basically just mind my own business. She starts getting louder and louder, and then basically she's like, you know that they worship Lucifer at the top, right? So I looked at her dead in her eyes and I said, I am Lucifer. I heard one individual laugh behind me, so I figured somebody got a kick out of it at least. She starts running up and down the aisles, freaking out, saying I'm a reptilian, and then all this other stuff, she's gonna get off the plane, yada yada yada. It doesn't show all the footage, it just says that she's trying to get off the plane because of, I'm not gonna say it here on TikTok, I don't wanna get banned, but then also talking about how, like, I'm secretly also trying to take over the world. So I looked back at the guy that was basically chuckling before, and I winked at him. So I basically whispered something under my breath saying that, Freemasons don't care to rule the world, we rule the universe. And I looked back at the guy that was laughing before and just kind of winked at him because he started laughing again. Well, I didn't think that she could hear me, but evidently she did, and it actually escalated it even further, and then they delayed the flight, and so on and so forth. So moral of the story, don't believe everything you hear on the internet. And Freemasons don't care to rule the world when we rule the universe.
Okay. So he seems a little cocky, don't you think?
Yeah.
He doesn't seem like he's sorry. I would have apologized
Well,
to
he just
everybody on the plane.
Well, he's using responsible language. He said he had escalated it. He's taking ownership that it escalated it. The fact that she's getting louder and louder with him, it was probably like causing a big scene is what happened. And he looks like he's trying to do a matter of
Mm-hmm.
a matter of fact, like, report about what happened. and why he, and he said, yeah, he's kind of owning up to being a smartass. He said something under his breath, blah blah blah, that made it
He
worse.
didn't say it under his breath if she heard it. He said it out loud, again, being antagonistic.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't even have to go that far.
Well, I mean, I don't think he probably had he didn't have.
Are you having technical difficulties over there?
Yeah, I'm going to end this because it keeps closing. So,
Okay,
yeah.
well, why don't we go ahead and wrap it up for the night and see if we see anything else
Mm-hmm.
on social media in the next whatever. And absolutely, everybody follow Mama Tot. She's amazing. And follow us on here. Hit that
Yep.
little subscribe button.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you in the comments as well.
All your thoughts.
Mm-hmm. All right,
Thanks
until
for
next
spending the
time.
last 26 minutes with us.
Yep, and we'll be back soon.
Deuces.